Hi, I'm JJ the Life Coach, and today we're going to start talking about getting things done. And we're doing this in the framework that is set out by Carol Tuttle in her book, It's Just My Nature. And in this book, it's sort of a personal assessment tool, and she talks about 4 different types of people. Now, I am not a Carol Tuttle coach. I'm not an expert on her material, but what I often do is assign this to my clients, let them read it, and then they can come back and tell me what type they are. When they do that, I'm really able to efficiently hone in on the coaching tools that we can use to get them toward their goals. So today we're talking about a type 1 person and how to get things done. And Carol writes in her book that type 1s are animated, they're social, they're spontaneous, and they are fun. So one of the first things that I tell my clients to do is to see if they can do their project, do their activity with another person or a group of people. Again, they're social. So this just helps them have more fun. But Carol Tuttle writes in her book that these are the ideas people. They're very creative, but their challenge with getting things done is that they often get stuck in that ideas phase and don't always follow through to the end of a project. So here's what I tell my type 1 clients. First of all, we're going to set up a framework, not too much of a structure, because Carol says that's really oppressive to a type 1. They actually don't work well with too much structure. It goes against their nature. So we're going to set up a small framework, maybe figure out 3-4 things that they want to work on that day. And they're going to actually set a timer for 15 to 20 minutes and bounce between those different projects. And for some of us, it might seem odd because, you know, you're not finished. Why would you go to something else? But Carol notes that this is how a type 1 brain works. So this is actually the most effective use of their gift of the spontaneity and newness. So set the timer for 15 or 20 minutes, move from project to project, take a break when you need to for fun, okay? And again, they're gonna work on maybe 2, 3, 4 projects in a day, okay? Now, since their challenge is completion, and things do need to get done, and they maybe can't delegate it to someone who's good at completion, what I have them do is take about a half hour at the end of the day and use that for their completion time. So in that half hour, they're going to, again, bounce between the projects they were working on that day and either complete them or tie up the loose ends so that they're in a good closing space for the day. Okay, that's really going to help them get things, you know, see things through to the end and have just a little time at the end of the day to put the bow on it and wrap it up and be done. So that's my advice for a type 1 client who needs to get things done. But there's one more specific thing for a type 1, and that is, since these are the spontaneous, fun people, we want to celebrate. So when they're done with the project, make sure you take time, if you're a type 1, to celebrate and have a good time. So I'll be back to you soon as we look at type 2s from Carol's It's Just My Nature, and I will give some great coaching tools on how a type 2 can get things done. Talk to you later. I'm JJ the Life Coach.